Let's focus in on Winnipeg. They have an historic season. They get all the way to the conference final. They're turned back. What do they do this year?
They do exactly what they did last year. Just keep grinding away. Yes, there were some departures. Paul Stastny, but he was a rental. He wasn't there the whole year. Armia was traded to get rid of Mason to Montreal to get rid of his contract. Enstrom went back to Europe. The backup goalie, Hendricks, those are fine. They have the same core together. They have the group that really has grown slowly but surely in Winnipeg. Every year, taking another stride, taking another stride. We're excellent last year. A lot of us were surprised they didn't get to the Stanley Cup final last year. I think they just have to keep grinding through it again, get right back there. Hellebuck's got to show that he can go back-to-back. And the guy who replaces Paul Stastny, I think it's going to be Brian Little, who's been around there forever. He's got to have a better year this year. Not quite as good as Paul Stastny had maybe last year, but better than Little had last year, and they'll be just fine.
The thing, and we know Stastny was, like you said, a rental. So a lot of the great success that Winnipeg had happened way before he got there. And this has been building for a couple of years now. But from the Vegas side, they're getting a player that can provide sustainability. That's huge in Vegas. So now you have a lot of departures in Winnipeg, not too many arrivals. So that core group is going to have to sustain now for this team. And I think Stastny is one that hurts. I also think Joel Armia really hurts. We've heard Mark Scheifele say that he's a top 6 forward in this league. And that's one of the things that I loved about this squad is that you had they had those injuries last year when you had Scheifele go down. Kyle Connor got boosted up, and certain guys got played in different roles. They were a dangerous team throughout. They're going to have to be a dangerous team throughout. The top 6, their top-end talent is about as good as it gets. But it's a hockey team. You need it throughout your lineup. So who's going to be the next guy stepping up?
Interesting by Paul Maurice, though, because they really did go top-heavy with Laine and Ehlers playing virtually the entire year together with whether Stastny or Little. For much of the preseason, they've had Ehlers down on the third line, playing with Jack Roslovic in the middle. So I think Paul Maurice is trying to layer and spread out, keep the top line together, but the second and third, maybe spread some of that offense out to really get production from the first 3 lines more so than just the top 2.
Johnny just mentioned Paul Maurice. I'm all in. Anytime I get to hear him talk, he's a big man. Anything he says, I'm all tuned in. There was a thing on Twitter we read recently where he was considering on the road adjusting his defensive pairings. You think it's a good idea?
I mean, it's uncharted territory. I've never seen it before, but you listen, Paul Maurice is a guy, and maybe sometimes decisions are made for the mental as well as just to keep you on your toes, keep the players on their toes. You don't want to get stagnant and, oh, we made it to where we were last year. We're going to be back there. Stirring it up a little bit. I mean, I never heard of it before, but I find it to be a challenging thing to do. But listen, you're gonna, if it's making the players pay attention and not feel comfortable, I think that's what this team needs. Don't have any complacency. Maybe that's his way of showing a little. We spoke about it earlier. A little distrust in certain matchups and stuff.
Isn't that just it, though? I mean, situational flexibility is important, whether it's in a game or whether it's by location. But if you think, okay, Tony and I get to play together at home, but he doesn't think I'm a very good defenseman, so I can't play with Tony anymore on the road. Like, it doesn't take a real rocket scientist to figure out when he makes this home and road moves who he doesn't have full faith in when they get to the road, and while that may keep them on edge, it also might chip away at some of their confidence. So there's a balancing act there.
How about if it's pushing the buttons as you guys are my top pair, but guess what? On the road, you're going to move off, and this guy's going to play. So
now you're playing psychology with me,
it's making a little bit of battle of pushing buttons where he's creating competition where maybe this group didn't think there should be competition from what they
Don't let them get stagnant. Got to keep pushing forward.